Hi, my name is Amanda Gordon with the Gordon Group of JH Realty Partners, and I'm here with
Phil Corpy with Benchmark Mortgage.
And we're here to talk about VA loans. There's a lot of misconceptions out there about VA loans, and there's so much information to talk about, but we'll just cover the basics. So we want to first off thank everyone for their service in the military, and thank you for your service.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, so tell us about your whole time in the military. What branch? And
So I've actually been in the Michigan National Guard for the last going on 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so currently serving out of Lansing. Spent the first 6 years with the 1073rd in Greenville, which is a maintenance company. So.
Awesome. So I also have a passion for this loan because my father served in the Army, and that's actually how my parents bought their first home. So to start off, we're going to start with the buyer side of a loan. How much money do you need? Just tell us the basics.
So actually, this is a great program. It's one of my favorites because not only because of the people, what you have to do in order to qualify for it. Obviously, you have to be a service member, which is important to me. But it's 100% loan, meaning that there is no down payment. This is backed by the VA. They guarantee it, which makes service members an attractive buyer in this market. That's huge.
Mm-hmm. So what's different about a VA loan than a conventional or FHA or RD, rural development, is that the VA requires a termite inspection, and the buyer cannot pay for that.
Yeah, and any time. I mean, this fee varies depending on who you go with to have that termite inspection done. But it's money that is automatically saved out of the veteran's pocket.
Does that mean the seller has to pay for it, or could the mom or dad pay for it? Or?
It can't be paid for by any means on the buyer side.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good to know. Is this loan only for low income? Is there a max? Is there a minimum?
That is one of the largest misconceptions. It's actually not an income-driven program. It's actually service-driven. And there's different service requirements depending on how you spent your time serving.
Awesome. Should a seller be scared to accept this type of loan?
I absolutely don't think so. There, again, common misconceptions are that these loans are going to take a long period of time. I would actually prefer one of these buyers because the VA is going to guarantee this loan up to a certain percentage for default purposes. And also, I mean, we're closing them just as quick as conventional loans.
What's the fastest you've closed one of these loans?
I actually just finished one up this Monday in 19 days.
That's amazing. That's actually quicker than most conventional or FHA loans, to be honest. How does the appraisal differ from an FHA or conventional?
So the appraisals, they differ a little bit in the sense that the appraiser that comes out, we can't just use anybody. The pool is not as big. The appraiser has to be approved through the VA and on an approved list. The testing's a little bit different. The things that they're going in and checking for a little bit different. VA requires water testing, which isn't normal and isn't standard with other loan products that are out there.
For every home, does it require water testing, or is that if you have a well?
Every home.
Oh, okay.
And well and septic is also in there. If it's not city water,
Mm-hmm.
We have to inspect well and septic as well.
Oh, okay. Good to know. What's the first thing you should do to apply for this loan?
Yeah, so the first thing that we absolutely encourage veterans to do that think that they qualify for this is we have to obtain what's called a certificate of eligibility through the VA to even make these loans work. So probably first steps are going to be to get in contact with a lender and run through the scenarios. We can go over what type of service, length of service they need to qualify, and then get the paperwork rolling. If you're active duty and you're still going, your statement of service letter as well as National Guard and Reservist statement of service letter if you're still serving. If you're active duty and you're retired, your DD 214 is going to be the paperwork. And then if you've only served on the National Guard side, whether it be Army or Air Force, you're going to need an NGB Form 22.
Let's talk about if you became disabled when you were on duty. What comes with that?
Absolutely. And obviously, the goal is not to get injured in the line of service. But if you are injured in the line of service, there's benefits, if you want to call them that. So if you're 40% disabled through the VA from service-related injuries, they're going to waive your funding fee. These loans don't carry any down payment, but there is a funding fee that the VA requires to be paid at the beginning of the mortgage process. And also, what other people don't know is that if you're 100% disabled through the VA, your property taxes are out the window. There's additional paperwork and forms, but you can have your property taxes completely wiped away,
That's amazing.
which is insane.
That's amazing.
Depending on where you live, I mean, that's saving you thousands of dollars a year.
Is there only certain areas that you can use a VA loan?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's really up to the seller if they want to accept a VA loan.
Absolutely.
Is there a cap loan amount?
Is there a cap loan amount? Can you only buy one home with a VA loan?
So it's what's awesome is there's actually not lending limits on the VA loan. It's a case by case, company by company number that's set. What the company feels comfortable lending. The VA guarantees up to a certain percentage depending on the amount of the loan that they have to give out, and they can be used for subsequent use, which is also determined by your certificate of eligibility. So if you own a property currently and you're looking at purchasing a second home, we put in a request for that COE to see what you have left in benefits.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell everyone how they get a hold of you to apply for a loan?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm with Benchmark Mortgage. I prefer cell phone. I just think it's a direct, easy way to communicate and get a hold of me right away. It seems to be where everything's going nowadays. So I give that out to everybody that I work with, and that number is 616-278-4156.
Can they get a hold of you during the week and on weekends?
Anytime. The cell phone sticks with me at any point in time, and especially veterans. They're working constantly 24 hours around the day. Why wouldn't I work 24 hours around the day for them?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You can also reach me, Amanda Gordon, at 616-560-2928.